Miss Shawnee, as we discussed...
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where...
Huh? What do you mean? We need to clarify...
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the... Go on. Earn her...
Is it really that simple?
May I call you hi, Traveler. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why is that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two have before. I wouldn't... Traveler, do you believe our lives will get...
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you, but even so, we've met lots of people from different places. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them!
I wanted... My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest...
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's...
The fact is that I'm... Only one side of my family is dead. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in King Deshret.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors.
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to... Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not... And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation.
You can tell them. I'm sure she'll keep your...
All right. I'll tell you what I told... I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village...
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard some... But, because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for...
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned.
Yeah, let's go! Oh, is this the place? It's in terrible shape, and there's sand everywhere.
Empty and forgotten. An ideal place to hide people.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Monsters, watch out!
To ashes! Time to clean up. Invisible evidence! Cross over! Power the desert python! Leave it all to me. As a good knight should.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had super strong bandits? Or monsters He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take... Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then... I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits... What are you reading? Let Paimon...
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural...
So...
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya! How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey! Paimon's your Tibet traveled... And anyway, it's not Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated. Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's...
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought.
Whoa. It's like they tucked it... Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms. I've been waiting for... Make yourselves at home. Higher, higher, hands on fire! Let's try turning a little. Steady as stone. Look, there's someone. Good idea. Let's approach.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and His eyes are unfocused. Also, why?
Didn't expect to see him.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holds up in?
No. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach. Leaving that question aside for the moment, looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded.
Loaded with.
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry. The symptoms are identical.
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh, now that you mention it.
Correct. The academia is behind. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret's resurrection. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru, as well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends. This scheme has won for the life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since King Deshret's death. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of King Deshret and look for no further The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their mind.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in love, but there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the...
Throughout this process, first, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, an exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing, if you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exact
Resource?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted.
Extracted? You mean...
With the technology of the Sumeru Academy, perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is...
So, the human brain... Nope, nah.
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted, or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him.
Hyman's a little confused.
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about... However, I can't help... The academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge. I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to know of it...
You mean you're not even slightly interested?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this...
Sounds like you're really a...
Of course. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. This matter needs to be corrected.
Wait! Didn't you step in to help because you've...
Not to be callous, but no. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of...
Probably not.
You can say that. Simply put, The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full.
Hyman's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys...
Though I must say, uniqueness is also an asset.
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Hyman's really impressed.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our next step after...
You must be tired.
What's the situation?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless...
So, at one point in time,
Yep, pretty much.
their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the...
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts.
Huh? Are our friends...
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies Sino. You're the reason...
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words,
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is interesting. And here I thought you were the most...
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any...
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against some... Simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive... If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to...
The academia...
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have every so often comes a Yagarbaha day. On this day, the academia enters new I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its
You're saying that the academia entered my... But what's the point in doing that?
The Akasha is capable of The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered.
It predicted my...
The academia has been watching you longer than you think. How...
So that's how it is. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the academia. Sino, don't take it to heart.
They escaped because...
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be...
Whoa, you bounced.
There's always an opportunity...
Oh, so that's how it... If the academia is trying to avoid... Yep, that's right.
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go too.
You want...
I want to find Grandpa. I promise.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Paimon feels like we're missing...
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay. So...
These are likely fragments of an academia-developed device. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this. Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching for?
This is definitely a device used to.
How did it end up buried in the sand? They must have been attacked.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone full.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Ugh, of course it is.
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty.
You're one of us. We would never.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do.
Hi.
Dia? Why would you? Dia!
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? What?
Where?
This complicates.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great... Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than any-
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret. What?
It's not too late yet. The village keep... Mad scholars aren't gonna bring...
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in...
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the...
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun with these scholars in our custody will stop...
Ridiculous. Think about it. The academia controls... If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against the academia.
They look more like pawns of the academia. Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all...
It's impossible to communicate with someone. Perhaps we should...
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But these scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand...
Wait, you can't be serious.
So...
Precisely.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars. Perhaps...
Think you can talk me over?
I'm not trying to persuade you.
You are the scribe. What do you...
Not all desert dwellers believe in King Deshret, and the same applies to the academia.
You academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like...
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make it.
You know you're making a dangerous decision.
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the den.
We've known each other for years.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honest... Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the academia...
An arm from the What if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village...
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying.
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Rahman?
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this.
That's not for you to do.
Do it!
Dia! Run!
Stop!
What's wrong?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is... You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now,
Phew. I was really counting on him.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you unlocked?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with it if it came down to it. You would...
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in...
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up.